welcome back to my channel. It's Catarina and I hope y'all are having a great day so far. Today's video is going to be my review and a tutorial on this Covergirl Trublend Foundation. It has been out for a little while now. In this video I'm going to explain everything, and then I think what really helps give you an idea about this foundation is the tutorial that I'm going to do, and I'll put that first, that way you can see what it looks like. But you guys have to promise me you will not click out of this video when you see it first go on, because this foundation looks so crazy when you first put it on. Very unnatural, very light reflecting, very weird. But when you work with it and after it sits into your face and sinks and melts, it really turns out beautiful. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. Alright, and first I like to prime my skin. I really like using the Baby Skin Pore Erase Primer since I do have really large pores right here. So I'm just going to get a small amount. And I just like to focus this around my T-zone area, really. Just getting about that much. Just really focusing it right here. Again, my color is an M5 Caramel Beige. I feel like that's kind of a weird name for a foundation, like caramel, but beige. I don't know. Has a little pump on there, and I just like to do sort of like a pump and a half. And so you can definitely see just how yellow it really is compared to my skin. And then the way I've really been liking to apply this is with this Soho Beauty's stippling brush. And this foundation, you guys, looks very weird when you first put it on, but I promise you it is beautiful in the end and after you wear it for a little bit. So you can see like how yellow it is. I just like to lightly, just with a really light hand, buff this all around my face. So here's half of my face done, which it's a very, very thin, light layer when you first put it on. But when you build it builds up beautifully. Like, it goes from like a light coverage to almost medium to full coverage. So that's what I really like about it. So I'm just going to get a little bit more. And if you see what I mean, how it just instantly starts to really cover everything. I'm just going to keep going with everything, and then once it finally sets too, it kind of calms down a little bit. But this is even a little bit too yellow for me, as you guys can see, and I have very yellow undertones. So for concealer, I'm going to go with the Glamifage Concealer. I also mentioned this in my unfavorites video, where this just was not working for me. I have a hard time just giving up on products though, so I've been trying different ways to apply it, and I found a different brush that I hadn't used before that I actually really like using. So it's kind of saved this concealer for the time being. That brush is the Soho Beauty Natural. This is like the stick foundation brush, I like to call it. And it's very brightening, as you can see. And I just like to kind of put this in a triangle shape under my eye and blend outwards. Alright, so that helps to kind of tame down the unnaturalness just a little bit. But now we're going to set everything, because as you see, it is still very light reflectant. So with this foundation, I always have to set it, which is pretty typical for me since I do have oily skin to begin with. And I'm just using the e.l.f. Tone Correcting Powder for this. But you can definitely see the difference here once it's set, as opposed to when it's still all kind of dewy and a little bit wet. Next, I want to bronze up the face a little bit like I always do. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Slate Bronzer. And I'm using another one of the Soho Beauty brushes. I really like using this brush lately, or still my Sephora contour brush. And just going to focus this on the hollows of my cheekbones. Using a more small dome-shaped brush, I'm just going to poke it here, go right under my lip, under my nose, and on the sides of my nose. See, it's coming together now. We're not looking so crazy. And then for blush, I've really been doing a lot of the fall blushes, but for some reason I've been really kind of going back into some nice fresh blushes. This one is the Rouge Cream Blush by NYX. And I'm just going to use a stippling brush for this. This is like more natural color. And I can get away with using this product after I put powder on, so don't worry about that. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that at all. And just using the stippling brush and putting this right up here, kind of where we did that contour, but a little bit higher. And to set that, I'm going to use the Essence Silky Blush in the shade Adorable. And Soho Beauty's powder brush. It's like the same exact color, so that's why I like to use it to set it. Alright, and that is the completed foundation tutorial portion of it, so now let's just go ahead and jump into the facts. So this foundation, let's talk about the packaging really quick. This is clear right here and it is glass, so you can actually see the actual product inside, and then it comes with a pump that you can twist. Once you're not using it, that way it can't pump down anymore so you don't create a mess. And then on the back you get the color that you are. So I chose medium 5, which is caramel beige. Price for this foundation varies from what I noticed. It's anywhere from around $9, and it comes in the standard foundation size, which is 1 fluid ounce. In terms of shade selection, this foundation comes in 21 different shades, and within those 21 shades they have 3 different categories: light, medium, and deep. That way, if you know your skin tone family, you can kind of go in there and then have 8 different shades to choose from. So a lot of people like to compare these two. This one right here is the CoverGirl 3-in-1. This is the CoverGirl Trublend that I use in this video. I think people like to do it to compare them because they look like exactly the same packaging-wise, but I think that's just smart packaging what they chose for this. In terms of the formula and how it performs, I would really kind of put it towards the L'Oreal True Match. This is also a water-based formula, and it kind of gives you that same liquidy texture that goes on a little bit lighter and then is very buildable. Something that's a little bit interesting about this foundation is there's really not a whole bunch of claims on it. I mean, there's literally none. It seems like the main claim on this is what it's called, Trublend, that it's supposed to be a liquid-based makeup that is just going to blend seamlessly into your skin. It's kind of unfortunate because I do think that it looks good now, but while you guys saw during the tutorial, it's kind of weird when you're first putting it on. It doesn't blend seamlessly right away. It definitely takes a little bit of time. Quickly, just to recap, because I don't want to make this super long, I just want to get to the points for you guys. Let's do the pros really quick. So the pros stand at the foundation's price point. It's under $10. A lot of times we're seeing drugstore foundations go upwards of like $13 to $15, so I'm happy that this foundation is still under that $10 mark. Also, this shade selection, like I mentioned, 21 shades. That is a good amount of shades to choose from. I really like when any foundations have more than 20 shades. I think that's really solid and definitely a pro in my book. The coverage as a pro, because it does go on very light and is a very lightweight foundation, but it is buildable. So I do like more full coverage foundations just because I like to hide all my redness and blemishes and all of that. But if a foundation's buildable, I'm okay with that. An obvious pro is also that it has a pump. That's just an easy one. And then another pro is that it fills in my pores, which is really nice. So I have really large pores right here. It does not accentuate them at all. It does not make them seem larger. It kind of helps fill them in. Mind you, I do use a primer with my foundations, but just in general, there are other foundations that even when I use a primer, I can still really see my pores. This one, I do not have that problem at all. And then the last pro about this foundation is it looks very, very natural after you've worn it for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Like you guys can see now, it blends seamlessly into my skin. There is no crazy light reflecting going on, and I just really like the way it looks now. So cons. If you're anything like me, I really like to focus on my skin undertone, and I have a very yellow undertone. However, this is a yellow undertone foundation, but it is almost like too unnatural yellow. I don't know if they do that on purpose and then how it blends into your skin, then it matches you. Maybe that's how it works, because you guys saw in the tutorial when I first put this on, it's like yellow, unnatural, almost gives off a green tint, which turned me off big time on this foundation, but I deal with it because of the end result. This foundation is slightly light reflecting. I consider that a con because I do have oily skin. If you have normal to dry skin, I think this foundation would be perfect for you. I don't find it really clinging to any spots in particular on my face, and I do have more combination skin to this time of the year since we are in the colder months. But with setting it for oily skin, you're okay, but just know that if you do have oily skin, it is very light reflecting, so you are going to want to set it with a powder, and maybe even bring a powder along with you throughout the day. That's pretty much my thoughts about this foundation, though. You know, I've had so many mixed reviews on it, like mixed feelings, that I didn't really want to put up a video about it yet because I didn't know really how I felt. Can you guys go play in a different room? I finally just want to come out here and give you guys my honest opinion, even though I still kind of have mixed reviews on it. The whole process of putting it on, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I want to take it off right now because it's so unnatural looking. But then when I actually leave it on, like right now, I love it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already so you can stay up to date with all of my videos, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!